Sinkhole opens near the Pantheon in Rome, revealing 2,000-year-old Roman paving stones. Luckily, no one was hurt when the sinkhole collapsed on the afternoon of April 27, because the normally crowded piazza was empty due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Here's a summary of the article.
A sinkhole unexpectedly opened up in front of the Pantheon in Rome last month, revealing imperial paving stones that were laid over a millennia ago, news sources report. Luckily, no one was hurt when the sinkhole collapsed on the afternoon of April 27, because the normally crowded piazza was empty due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The stones uncovered by the sinkhole were created around the same time that the Pantheon was built, from 27 BC to 25 BC, according to Daniela Porro, Rome's special superintendent. This find is actually a rediscovery. The slabs were first found in the 1990s, when service lines were being laid in the piazza, according to ANSA. The new sinkhole swallowed about 40 sanpetrini, or cobblestones, which fell into a service tunnel holding cables and pipelines, according to Roma Today. The most sensitive area is eastern Rome, where materials were quarried in ancient times. Geologist Stefania Nisio, who is working on a project to map Rome's sinkholes, told Adynchronos. The main cause of a sinkhole in the city is the presence of an underground cavity. Until these upgrades are made, sinkholes may continue to reveal ancient architecture and artifacts, such as these paving stones.
This post received a score of 43,000, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
You know what would have been cool? Pictures of the stones. Deadpan face.
I don't know why, but this is weirdly common for articles about archaeological finds. Like, almost every time. Incredible ancient sword unearthed, then the article is just a wall of text with ads. As an artifact lover, it pisses me off to no end.
Since the other fella wants to be a funny guy, link with photos. Edit, open it in incognito mode if you don't want to disable your ad blocker.
Big stones. Imagine having to be a laborer back then and moving them into place all day.
Slave. Prisoners with job.
Now this is a dope reference.
Dope dealers think they're cool.
With melt stick and all.
As much as I'm glad nobody was hurt, I'm equally thankful that no damage was done to the Pantheon. It's an incredible building, and if you've ever been inside you know what I mean when I say you're overwhelmed by the sheer scope of the building. The roof is a freestanding dome whose engineering brilliance is honestly impossible to describe. It was built right around OAD, and the feat of engineering to create such a large freestanding dome was not matched until the 1400s when the Duomo in Florence was completed. The Romans were truly ingenious to be so advanced with such limited technology.
Rome is very overwhelming that way. You turn a corner and bam, fountain, or bam, Pantheon. You are standing where 2,000 years of people have stood. Just awesome.
Or bam, gelato. So much gelato.
As both a classics major and a gelato lover, this sounds like my dream.
It was an absolute dream. And with all the walking required to get to places, we didn't even gain any weight after binging on gelato and pasta. If you ever go, make sure to check what museums need to be booked 3 months to half a year in advance and book online directly with the attraction instead of a tour company. Well worth the extra effort.
I would say the Vatican is worth doing with a tour company. We've been twice with 2 different ones and they were both fantastic. My favorite was one hosted by an art historian.
I would also say the Colosseum is worth doing through a tour company. I learned so many very interesting things that I would have seriously never known, like for example every single one of the arches when the Colosseum was being used by the Romans had marble statues, and the Colosseum was almost entirely covered in marble, so the whole thing was white, at least on the inside. But times after the Colosseum was useless, so they used the marble to build other buildings, and the Vatican actually has stones, marble that came from the Colosseum.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.